Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. It may be Sunday, but I tell you what, it ain't stopping crypto. We got a lot to go over today. David Schwartz on Flare. We got a legal analyst says there's still room for a settlement in the SEC versus Ripple. We're going to hear from John Deaton, has a great question for all of us. We're also going to hear from the Confidential Committee in the Federal Reserve Buyback. How about $122,000 XRP? And how about the information and evidence to show you how they came up with it? I think that matters. This here. Is Swift payments cutting access to retail investors? We're going to take a look at it. And by the way, have you heard of it? Universal Digital Payment Network for Stablecoins, CBDCs, launched at WEF, World Economic Forum Davos. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content right now. $1.08 trillion market cap for crypto. We're off by 0.2%. Bitcoin, 22,900 plus. Ethereum, 1,600 plus. Tether market cap, 66.7 billion, they say. And XRP, 40 cents. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't done it, you need to join us for Las Vegas for the XRP Army event of a lifetime. And I promise you, that is exactly what it's going to be. Now, let me tell you, there's two tickets, general admission tickets you're going to be able to get, and a VIP ticket. And if you want the VIP ticket, you need to join the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group and get the annual subscription. You're going to get private groups and lessons, weekly live stream, on-demand classes. I'm telling you, this is the place to be. And it is truly a mastermind group. The reason I can brag on it is because there's so many incredibly brilliant people in this space. You won't believe the things that are going on inside of this group. That's why I could brag on it. It's not all about me. It's about what we've created as a collective. And I'm going to shut the door on this thing. And you don't believe me, but it's still true. I'm telling you, I'm going to shut the door on this thing. Don't mess around. Join this group. Click that link. It is going to be capped event. I'm telling you. Right here, we see David Schwartz asking the question, should I stop talking about Flare token distribution? I will abide by the results in the poll unless there's some extraordinary reason I can't. Well, I clicked on no. Keep it coming. The insights are valuable. And he does say here, and I think this is, and he says plenty in the thread, but this is what I wanted to grab out of here. He says, I do advocate that the XRP snapshot holders set aside their personal interest when they vote and cast a vote that they think is best for the Flare ecosystem. I don't think you could really say it any better than that. It's really about the survival of the network and what's best for the network. Then there's this. I wanted to touch on this. Now, this was, we covered this, so I'm not going to play the clip again, but when Brad was asked if they had license in UAE, and he says, I'm not sure, and then the regulator sitting beside him says, no, you don't. I wanted to remind everybody of this because I thought this was a nice reminder right here. What was bringing you to the Middle East, David? January 17th. He says, a Ripple internal event and a meeting with crypto companies in the United Arab Emirates. Stay tuned. Then to wrap this up, the UAE sees key role for crypto as Gulf state eyes to boost trading policies. Really? While participating in the World Economic event, Omar Sultan Al Ulama said, basically finding the right balance for crypto, and made those claims while saying that crypto companies already referring to the UAE as a home was a positive thing to note. They get it. They totally get it. And is there room for flexibility in a settlement negotiation for the SEC versus Ripple? Well, one legal analyst says yes. Bill Morgan, shout out to him. He says, I don't get the pessimism about settlement not happening before a decision on summary judgment. He said, Brad's recent comments are messaging and posturing. They must be about to start serious talks. And, you know, that's when Brad made the comment basically like, unless XRP is absolutely certain and clear on a go-forward basis, there is nothing to talk about. And that is posturing. Right till the end. No matter which side you're on, if there's room before the judgment or a court date, you're going to hold what you got to show strength. And that's what brings people to the table for some kind of talk or possible settlement. We shall see. Now, I remember, and I'm reminding everybody, James K. Filan told us he believes, his prediction was, that he believes we see some kind of judgment on or before March 2023. Well, we're almost into February now, right? So that gets very interesting the way this thing is unfolding. We shall see. John Deaton asked a very, very relative question here, and I think it's a great question. And I want to hear your comments and responses underneath this video. In 2020, the head of assets at Sygnum Bank recommended people invest in the digital assets of the future, and they cited Bitcoin as a store of value, ETH for infrastructure, and XRP for payments. He said, I agreed then, I agree now. All three will be standing in 5 years. How many other tokens can say that? John Deaton adds to that post from August 2022. He says, other than the SEC lawsuit, XRP, what has changed since Sygnum Bank recommended BTC, ETH, and XRP? I still believe all three will be standing 5 years from now. The question is, what other tokens will be? Brad Garlinghouse said 99% of tokens are likely going to zero. What's still standing in 2028? What a fantastic question here. And Wheezy follows up. Shout out to Nerd Nation. Give him a follow. There are currently 21,910 cryptocurrencies. If 99% go away, that leaves about 219 tokens. There you go. Think of that for a moment. Then there was this news we covered yesterday. Stellar is joined with the CFTC for the Global Market Advisory Committee. They currently are the only blockchain company on that committee, working with the Commodities Future Trade Commission. I reminded yesterday, and I'll remind people that didn't see it for today. XLM is a copy of the XRP ledger. The only two real big discernible difference between Stellar and Ripple is Stellar is nonprofit, and they burned the escrow that they had in 2019. That's it. Hard to see how Stellar could be somewhat different than XRP. We shall see. And what could XRP be worth? Shout out to Molly Elmore. Give her a follow. What happens when XRP is used to move all the money? The answer starts with determining what exactly is all the money. She's absolutely right. This was from many years ago from David Schwartz as just arbitrary examples he was giving here, just these macro kind of ideas and thoughts. He said it all depends how big you want to dream. If Ripple captures Bitcoin's current market share at that time, $2. What if Ripple captures the value of all high friction international payments that are now occurring? $20. You could add a multiplier to this for the additional demand from people holding XRP to make or facilitate payments in the future. What if Ripple captures the value of an increasing volume of international payments driven by the reduction in friction? Maybe $120? Same point as above. You could justify a multiplier to this as well. And that's from at least 6 years ago or so. But let's take a look at this. The valuation team from the Confidential Committee and the XRP Buyback has been working diligently to answer that question. What is fair market value of XRP? Now, somebody would say, oh, well, it's what someone's willing to buy or sell it for, right? And finding that agreement to make that transaction. That is not fair market value. That is market value. There is a big difference between market value and fair market value. They are not the same thing. Just looking right here to what they came up with. Let's shout out to Molly Elmore for making this summary chart here. It says fair market valuation, big bang, single day migration to tokenized monetary system. It shows all of this added up. Derivatives, 600 trillion, private wealth, 464 trillion, real estate, 327 trillion, debt, 300 trillion. You get it. Money supply, 83 trillion. We see all of these factors. I'm not going to read them all, but you get it. Model assumptions. All the world's value will be represented on the XRP Ledger blockchain. Risk-adjusted coverage ratio accounts for liquidity needs in the future economy. Only 50% of minted XRP is part of the circulating supply. Balance sheet approach is a moment-in-time snapshot of the world's value. Total value, 5.3 quadrillion they have here. 2030 risk-adjusted ratio, 1.25 times adjustment. Risk-adjusted total, 6.6 quadrillion. 2030 PV10 total value, 6.2 quadrillion. XRP circulating supply, 50.7 billion. 2030 XRP PV10 token value, $122,580. Model drawbacks. Does not account for competing effects of utility and store of value. Another drawback, unable to account for unknown value that we are unaware of. And another drawback, assumes reuse of XRP for transactions irrelevant. And we know that the XRP can be used multiple times, right? So that is a huge factor that they have really no way to really calculate or put into it. We talked about collateralizing the XRP ledger for years. I have believed since before I was a YouTuber that XRP would need to be price set or a price floor, or even have come to grow that idea to a stable coin be launched off of XRP to provide a stable value. The reason I've always believed that is because what is the sense of introducing another asset that just floats in value, whether it's in the 3 to 4 seconds you use it or not? You could use gold. You could use the US dollar. You could use other dollars. Reliability is really something that has to be there. And you can only get reliability when you have consistency, right? And consistency would be a guaranteed value. That's how I see that. So look, this is an interesting conversation here, and I'm not going to go down through the whole thread. I encourage you to do it. I've shared it on my Twitter page, but we have some other amazing information to look at too. I appreciate everybody, Jimmy Valley, Val Hill Capital, and all involved in this. This is a great exercise. One thing I do want to say is that I know there's a lot of developers, and I know that Matt Hamilton's been extremely vocal about calling all of this nonsense. He talks about how the XRP would get that price, how it could capture 100%. A lot of the nonsense conversation here is about how could XRP, is impossible to get that big of a price. And I think that's like a miss the plot moment, right? I really do. And I don't mean to cite Matt here intentionally. I have a mad respect for Matt and everybody involved. For me, what matters about this is the conversation that has become very open, which is the difference between market value of XRP, which we know it to be today, and what the actual fair market value is based on all the NDAs that we are not aware of that Ripple has had for years. And you know what? XRP is not tied to Ripple. There's private equity for that, and you could get that at Ripple or get that at the link to. But what I understand is that, you know, to just talk about this high price, 122,000, 35,000, 50,000, whatever number you want to put on it, doesn't make sense to focus on that. Right? I mean, that's like arguing over the Matrix, right? And understanding that is about good always beating evil in the end, right? But then arguing over the fact that how much CGI is used or not. It's like, well, you're missing the plot. You know, the plot isn't about how much CGI is used. The plot is about good always beats evil. Here, I feel the same thing is analogous, right? Is to argue over just the price is to ignore the plot. Let's not miss the plot together collectively. We know for a fact that we do not have full knowledge. We are retail investors. Ripple has said clearly that they are not consumer facing in any way. I'm not slighting them either. It's just this happens to be where we sit. We're at the kids' table. They're at the big table. And in that, we have a very real case with the Securities Exchange Commission in the United States that could rule in a manner that could change the way retail investors get, buy, hold, and sell the way we used to. That is a very real element that could happen in this case. And I hope that it doesn't and we get clear sailing waters, but it doesn't harm us to consider the conversation. And I urge it to go forward civilly. And I invite Jimmy Vallée, Molly Elmore, Matt Hamilton, Bob Way to have a very thoughtful civil discussion, open invitation on my show. Let's do it for the community. SWIFT will not let crypto exchanges accommodate the poor. Only the rich, says Free American Spirit. Well, when you go into this, you start to get more of that bad feeling in your belly. Asia Market says SWIFT payments network access cut to crypto exchanges. Say what? An extraordinary decision involving the global SWIFT payments network could have widespread implications on cryptocurrencies. Asia Markets can reveal banks, plural, including New York Signature Bank, will no longer process fiat currency transfers to cryptocurrency exchanges with a value less than $100,000 via SWIFT network effective from February 1st, 2023. Now, full disclosure, if I go all the way down into this, it says Binance has confirmed at this stage it will only be Signature Bank customers affected by the move. This is according to Binance, clearing the water here. One of our fiat banking partners, Signature Bank, has advised that it will no longer support any of its crypto exchange customers with buying and selling amounts of less than $100,000 as of February 1st, 2023. This is the case for all of their crypto exchange clients. As a result, some individuals' users may not be able to use SWIFT bank transfers to buy or sell crypto for US dollars for an amount less than $100,000. Listen, Signature Bank announced last week that they were in the process of reducing exposure to cryptocurrencies. Well, listen, why would they do it and then not other banks do it? Head on a swivel, ladies and gentlemen. This all comes back to really what we're talking about with the Confidential Committee and the understanding there. Fair market value versus market value. What is truly happening? Do we find that this is Signature Bank and it's mutually exclusive to them? Or are we about to hear a lot more banks fall in line with Signature Bank? We'll see. Time tells us all. Well, look what happened here at the World Economic Forum. Universal Digital Payments Network for stablecoins and CBDCs launched at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Did you know that? Because I didn't before today. The purpose is to investigate a potential alternative to existing payment systems. But wait till we see who's behind all of this mess. It's China, ladies and gentlemen. Universal Digital Payments Network was developed by Red Date Technology, which also developed Blockchain Service Network, China's state-backed blockchain network. Well, I did a little digging. And then I went all the way back here to 2020 of April. And it says, meet Red Date, which is the name of the company, little-known tech firm behind China's big blockchain vision. Right? So we know all of this now. This is how far back it goes. And they built the blockchain service network, and then they have been working on the universal, obviously, digital payment network as well. Well, then we go on to this. Red Date Technology Partners, Algorand, right? Hyperledger, which Ripple is a part of, right? Let me see if I got that here. Ripple joins Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium. So we got a way in there. R3, I'm sure we have a way in there too. You know, all of this is very, very puzzling, ladies and gentlemen. And then there was this I found also from back in July of 2020, 2 years ago. Brad Garlinghouse actually acknowledged that there was this effort taking place with Red Date and Blockchain Service Network. And he basically spoke to it on a macro angle and just suggested that, you know, this could be good because we're seeing things be done, whether it's from the Far Eastern superpower or not. And that was basically all he had to say about it. But it is happening. The question is, there is more pressure all the time, that it isn't just about the digital Chinese yuan. Now it is broad and more open because they are also working on a universal digital payment network. Oh boy, oh boy. You know, I just keep thinking about the XRP ledger being this ultimate decentralized exchange that all these different fractionalized new digital payment networks can tap into in order to source the liquidity for anything of value. That's how I see the XRP ledgers playing a real role in all of this, but we shall see. It is only my digital perspectives, not financial advice from me or anyone else. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch all of you on the next one.